outside here. But there you go. So now we got power. Now, in Skylines 2, power and, in fact, water gets carried by the roads. We don't have to wait for these zones to come in and have that blobby radius thing. This yellow line here, this is power being carried by all these roads over all these areas. Let's get our water going. Now, what's our water flow look like? Is the answer it's not flowing? Because I'm not seeing any arrows, which doesn't seem right. I was gonna say, there we go. Let's unpause the game so this starts to process. There we are. Okay. Poop out over here. And then we'll pick up the water here. I wonder, now in Skylines 1, a water pumping station here, because of the way the water physics work, would probably cause issues with draining out this water and not work. It'll be interesting to see if that's the case here. So let's do that. And then this does need road access, which will of course also carry the water over. Let's do, you know what? Let's do a dirt road. Well, it's gravel road. Curvy mode on. Let's have it come up through here. And over there. I kind of like that. Okay. Those flow directions will be poop beach. I mean, this place here is going to get pretty poopay. That's for sure. You know what we could... What if we build a dam across here? What does that do with the poop flow? We'll find out. Expulsion should be on the river, so carries the sewage away. Right, if it was over here, it would flow away, because here, it is a little static in that area, but that's fine. We'll just poop up this entire little, bay, I suppose? It'll be Poop Bay. I can't make regions yet, so I can't go ahead and put a little name tag down. All right, let's go and bring the speed up to 3 to maximum. Now, for the record, I'm currently getting 70 FPS. We should probably talk about this. The developers, Colossal Order, did put out a press thing today saying that at release, the performance of City Skylines 2 won't be exactly where they want it to be. I'm just gonna move my camera so I can watch the FPS. They are planning on doing some big optimization passes, but they don't want to delay the release, which is coming out on, what, the 24th? But the performance is a little hard up in the game. Currently, I am running with my options set up thusly. This is the recommendation that they gave to report. Basically, I went to the high preset, then I went and turned off the fog, volumetrics, ambient occlusion. I also turned off the depth and field and motion blur. I don't know if these were really bad performance. I mostly don't want them on, usually in games, so I went ahead and turned those off. The big thing as well that will affect performance is level detail. I'm running it on high right now while the city is small. We will probably we may have to drop it as we go forward. Of course, I'm running on a 4070 with a decent CPU. I've not seen performance really much lower than 30 frames per second, but I've also never gotten to a very large city. So I will say this, when you're on low level of detail, I haven't found that I've lost much in terms of visuals. So, and it definitely did increase my FPS by like 15 or something like that. So it was a pretty powerful change. So we'll see. Why did game devs include motion blur lumens like that? Some people do. I think the motion blur becomes more important if you are playing on lower frame rates, and in particular on console games, right? That's why classically you would have them in there. A lot of console games would target 30 FPS, and their little motion blur can actually sort of smooth out the motion a little bit doing this. But I think for this kind of game, I don't really see the value in it. I am already loving this neighborhood. The little cliffside neighborhood here. I think this is fantabulous. Robin Street, of course we can rename this. I'm gonna look at chat now. It's gonna be Frozen Flame. Frozen Flame Street. There we are. You know, when mod becomes a thing, I wonder if I could make a mod that automatically pulls in names from Twitch chat to automatically name my streets. Talked about it before. Wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, look at the solar panels over here. Little dish. Little, I guess, maybe like a lap pool over here. I don't know if it's long enough to be considered a lap pool. These seem like very, like, idealized 1950s lifestyle kind of houses. Oh, a little greenhouse. This is just making me want to play The Sims, or whenever it comes, Life by You, which I'm very hyped about. I'm a sucker for those games. Whoa, hold on, I gotta pause. This guy's car is cool. The Trejo family. Driver is Trafford Trejo. Dude! Are you driving to work? It's admittedly a pretty long drive to work right now. All right, milestone 1. In CS1, you would go through your milestones by reaching populations. Here, you reach it by achieving experience points caps. You get experience caps when your population grows, but you also get it for just building all kinds of different things and stuff like that. Call that how healthcare was run in the city. Well, literally, healthcare wasn't an option until now. So, Christopher Gould, why don't you chill out, man? There you go. And the street parking. The cars don't just disappear anymore. They park. You can build parking lots, do street parking. We will be able to... oh, right. This is locked right now because we haven't unlocked that milestone yet. But we will be able to ban street parking if we want. We've got a bunch of options. Yeah, no pocket cars. Yeah, heck of a drive to work here. Okay. So we've unlocked the next milestone, which is unlocked healthcare, as well as death care, as well as garbage management. So we should probably consider what we want to do for that. I think what I want to do is I want to develop along this main road, which we're going to rename from Sterling Street to Perks Boulevard. There we are. Right over here. So we want to develop along this, kind of have a bit of a high street, a bit of a commercial sector, but also I want to get like some of the social services over here, right? Very easy to get to for everyone. My anticipation is that we're going to grow our low density residentials through sort of back here and over here. And this, yeah, really will be a good centralized location for those sorts of things. We may have to plan a little bit about the graveyard specifically because it's quite big as cemeteries are, right? Cemeteries take up a lot of space, and where would we want that? I don't know if that needs to be on the main road. Although maybe garbage dump next to the hospital. For me, this game is must not touch until I see traffic AI makes sense without mods. Well, it'll be interesting. We don't, of course, without the traffic manager presidential edition, is that what it's still called these days? We don't have the ability to like connect individual lanes to individual lanes. Thus far, and again, I haven't gotten any mega cities yet. Thus far, the traffic has seemed pretty good. Cemeteries fill up like in the first game. They do, I believe. I think they do have a natural sort of turnover decomposition rate a little bit. But yeah. You know, I actually kind of don't hate this idea right here. Because I'm just thinking about, like, my town and where the graveyards are. And, like, there's a few of them that I can think of. And they're all kind of along semi-major roads. I don't think this is unreasonable. Path beside the cemetery, please. So you're talking about adding a road to it afterwards? And next to church, center of town. I guess that would be why they tend to be centralized, is because churches were center of town, and then the graveyards would be next to that. I think technically a graveyard is like the burial place that's connected to a church, and the cemetery is just independent of a church. Do 4 cemeteries make a town square? All right, I'm going to plop it down here. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a straight two-lane road that hugs the edges here. Although, oh, it did sink in, which actually, I'm fine with that. How close can I get? Right here. Do I want to cut in here? I don't know if I want to do that. Well, we can use this as a way to, like, define a little neighborhood back here. Actually kind of nice. Big parking lot, very impressive entrance. And yeah, it can fit up to 5,000 deceased. I mean, that's going to last us for a good long time. You know, I kind of groovy with this.
A low flush toilet,
Sinking's weird. I could smooth this out, of course.
Shower with a friend.
I'd have to remove this road probably, and then just level this off to be a little smoother.
What kind of future does music have if it doesn't look to its past? Well,
I guess the graveyard, like, really the cemetery could have been built on a slope, but I can see, like, why just ploppables have to be level in the game, right? Oh, yeah, and then add-ons. Mausoleum. Now, some of these add-ons plop inside, and some of them plop outside. Depends on the building. So here, both the temple and the mausoleum plop outside. A columbarium.
Isn't that going to be...
So we could always do some expansions later.
Oh, well, quite frankly.
Oh, this has to be literally adjacent, not on the road next to it.
A certain level of services, and we simply do not have the capacity to provide them within the city.
Sounds like we're the ones...
I mean, I could cancel this road for that. You know what? I don't think I'm going to plan on the expansion of the cemetery. If we need more space, we'll just build another cemetery. That'll be okay.
Their quality of life is very
now, I'm going to want a clinic, and I was thinking... clinic right next to this graveyard. You know, if something goes wrong, you can just get buried. But I kind of don't mind that. Do I want it to attach this road or be adjacent? Or do we want to put down a little bit of commercial space first and then put down this clinic?
So a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here, right?
My thought, okay, the game's paused, so nothing's going to happen quite yet. Let's do this, but then I'm going to not do that. So the expectation will be a fair amount of commercial space here. We probably don't need this much, and I'll probably override this with some of the civil services, like police stations, fire stations, when we get that. Clinic on the cliff overlooking the cemetery, so the dead can be dumped right into it. But, I mean,
I like the sound of that.
in theory, right? Prime real estate's going to be along this road, so maybe the clinic goes back here. I don't know. I mean, the clinic... No, I'm going to put it right here. These people are... I don't know how well you can hear them, and I don't know if it's too loud or not. I also don't know if there's any way to stop, like, to just do pure music without the voices. I mean, we can turn off the ads for the, like the radio ads here, but that doesn't affect the talk radio segment. Because in theory, the talk radio segments are talking about the state of your city. They're talking about high housing prices right there. It's like, oh, okay, well, I get it. I guess that's kind of useful info. But for doing my videos and stuff, I like just having the music. The option, I think the City Skylines soundtrack is on Spotify. So going forward, and I didn't think about this until I was like 5 episodes in. Going forward, what I might do is mute the music in game and just play the soundtrack music from inside of Spotify. But we'll see. There are other channels we can poke around with. I think they all do the announcement. We can switch over to the Vibe and the Smooth Meat. All right, let's unpause here. There we go. So we've got demand, we've got more low density, but we also are starting to get some medium density residential demand. So what I think is going to happen actually, is we might do some medium density on this road. I know I unpaused for a whole like 3 seconds. No, I don't know. No, maybe the residential, the higher density residential will be right behind. Yeah, should I have roundabouted this? Yeah, it's fine. All right, so we got North American medium density row housing in behind here. I'm sure we're going to do some more cross streets here, but let's just start this populating. And then after that, I'm going to go to more low density. So we're going to stretch this out some amount. Probably do the same thing here. I could also just use the housing grid tool to quickly do a bunch of this. But I think I'm okay with doing this manually. Now, when I do the cross streets, we'll lose some houses. But you know what? Screw those people. Eminent domain and all that. I could also be using the parallel tool. But I think we're doing okay here. All right, so let's just plop down zoning. And yeah, there's different demands. The demand is very specific. Right now, there's demand for low density, no medium density. So even though we have a bunch of medium density zoning over here, no one wants to move in there. People want their own little houses. They don't want to live in apartments. I mean, that sounds like human beings. So yeah, this area here has a good chance of being way traffic intense. Now, some of that might be alleviated if we decide to connect up over here, because the people living here might get to their work a different way. We'll see. But I don't know how much I want to grow this area. Again, I'm thinking, ooh, rock musician mansion, a famous rock star living in this mansion when not on tour. Oh, we'll plop that down in a second. We have the ability to start, unlocking some more tiles. And what I like about this is you get a lot more tiles, but each tile is smaller, so you can sort of shape things along. Like we could just unlock a bunch of tiles along this highway, and or along a river, and sort of shape things a little bit more. So I'm still thinking that like the high density, really urban area is going to be more over here. So I'm not too terribly worried about the traffic right there, especially since there's a good chance this little highway here, I suspect we might do a branch off that runs into this area here afterwards. And the local traffic just in this area is not going to be too bad. Important question, are the roundabouts, do they work? Yep, they're totally built into the game and they work so good. The roundabout over there. They also look really great at the end of roads, like what I've done right over there. Yeah, they're just like, they're totes adorbs. Totes adorbs. So let's put down the rocker house. It does +2 well-being within 500 meters. I don't know what the scale of this game is. I don't know how far away 500 meters is. But let's go and build a rocker house like here. Presumably this is going to cover a whole lot of place. Now it says overlapping items. When it says it in orange like this, that means it's going to just replace like a zonable thing. That's fine. If it's in red like this, it means I can't put it down here because it's overlapping something that can't be replaced, like a road, or if I tried to build it here with the clinic, it would be no good. Here it's clear. Here it would go to the orange version because it would just be smashing one of the commercial buildings. The road connecting the main entrance to your industry is 1.1 kilometers. How do you know that? What? You're saying from here to there is 1.1 kilometers? Or this? Oh, this one. Hang on. Did you? Oh, when I was putting it down. Oh, here's the length. Look, hold on. Oh, Perk Street goes all the way over here. So the entire length of Perk Street, which is quite long, is 2.1 kilometers. All right. The total length of this is 400 meters. Okay, so the radius of the rockstar. Anyway, I think I'm going to build it here. I really like that. What road do we want to stick it adjacent to? I think this way. All right. Yeah, and seeing this just makes me kind of want to play The Sims. Or again, played by you. We got some, maybe they're French rocker. It's rock in. We have not unlocked parks yet. We do have, garbage, handling. We can build a landfill. We do have one whole development point. It's not enough to go, like, straight into an incinerator plant or recycling plant. I wonder, can we... What happens if we just hold off on the landfill for a while? I wonder how much of a problem that might be. Can I just wait until we get the incinerator? I think I want to connect this here. Straight line. Do this, and then we get the nice little helper guide. Look at that. Look at oh! Hey, milestone 2, which does give us enough points for the incinerator. Look at these guides. You know? So handy. I want to do a similar thing over here. Maybe. I don't hate it. Now we got the slope, so I don't think the road will continue down there. What I might do is go just a tiny bit more and get it to connect it up. I like that. Let's just fill this in with some low density. All right. Game comes out in 5 days, I believe. This is a press pre-release. This may or may not be the same version exactly that gets released at release. There is one thing we might see at some point. Our commercial districts might start complaining that they don't have enough customers. That is, and they do fine. Everything is okay. In fact, we'll get messages about like, wow, our commercial districts are booming, and then they're complaining they don't have enough customers. It's a known bug, and they have a fix for it already. They are just, the developers are saying they may not want to rush a patch right last minute before release. Since the worst thing would be if they like tried to rush out the fix for it without having gone through a proper QA thing, and it turns out it, crashes the game. They'd rather have like little annoying pop-ups above the commercial district saying, oh, hold on, not enough customers, rather than, a game crash. So that may or may not be in still. What do we have here? Waiting for a hearse. All right, we've gotten some people to die already. Now, okay, commercial need is up. Industrial need is up. People want some jobs. I think, Oh, we got a little bit of poop coming into the water. Do I want to buy some more tiles over here? So we're not kind of limited to the edge. Are death waves still a thing? I haven't seen that. Yeah, death waves used to be a thing because kind of everyone moved into the city. It's sort of roughly the same age, and then would sort of all roughly die at about the same time. I guess if I have this roundabout here, I should probably make use of it. I like how that guy's doing a Yui there. Well, if nothing else, okay, hold on. I'm gonna go into curvy mode. Come off of this. To do something. Actually, do I want a straight line off of this? I may want to. Hold on. Deleted. Yeah, just down there in some sort of straightish line. Okay. We could upgrade this to a paved road as well, but I kind of like the gravel look for this little area. Doing a U-turn in a roundabout feels like a roller coaster. Yeah, well, especially with the big truck there. Now, oh, I actually didn't mean to delete the whole road. I just didn't click on the roundabout properly. Yes, the incinerator. Thank you. Yeah, let's get that going. So we're gonna go and unlock the incinerator plant immediately. To burn the garbage produces high amounts of ground pollution, as well as some air and noise pollution. But it does generate some power for us. So right now, all of our power is being imported from outside the city. Okay, and we did get more milestones here. Okay, buying these tiles mostly gives us mountain, which is not terribly useful in terms of building space. Let's just keep working with what we've got for now, I guess? I don't know. I think I'm going to keep making this kind of gritty. Now, if I want to do the perfect grid, one of these 6 across. So if I did the parallel, do I parallel this to 12 across? Yes, although I would build in the opposite direction. Would it let me build it? No, because they exceed city limit completely. Oh, and a bunch of this is quite slopey. That's true. That actually might not be super duper viable. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me draw out a road over here that's kind of parallel. Okay, that's not tragic. Where's the 150? Autosave. I mean, so presumably, if I pull this off, this intersection awfully close to that roundabout. Yeah.